A doctor in Toronto is speaking up about the urgent need to act now to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Dr. Michael Warner wrote an open letter that said healthcare resources are finite and we will not be able to provide care for all who become ill. In addition to COVID-19 related deaths, there will be collateral damage among patients who need to care for other treatable ailments and unable to receive it. Dr. Warner is joining us via FaceTime, like all our guests, from here on in, practicing our social distancing. Good to have you with us, Dr. Warner.
Thank you for having me.
A fellow doctor friend shared your letter with me, and that letter has since gone viral. Another part of it I think it's important for people to hear you say is we have lessons to learn from the experience of Italy. Hospitals in the wealthy, industrialized area around Milan cannot offer life support to patients over 65 as they just don't have enough ventilators. So here in Canada, what can we do to avoid being in the same situation?
The most important thing that every citizen and everyone who lives in Canada can do is to practice social distancing without any exception. There's no wiggle room here. There can be no half measures. And everybody needs to shut it down today. We're already potentially too late, and there's really no wiggle room.
When you say potentially too late, Dr. Warner, what do you mean?
So this virus does not spread based on news cycles. This virus spreads every minute, every hour. And there is a narrow window where staying away from other people can reduce the speed at which it's transmitted from person to person. Once we reach an inflection point where spread gets out of control, it'll be very difficult for us in the healthcare system to keep up with the demand.
Dr. Warner, a lot of questions being asked today about how measures should be practiced in different provinces. So let's say you're in a province that has 8 or less cases as opposed to Ontario that has 177. Do you still have to practice the same measures? Do you still have to social distance?
So I think that's a great question. So jurisdictional boundaries between provinces are not respected by COVID-19. This is a global pandemic, and there needs to be consistent actions by all Canadians, in fact, everybody in the world, I feel, to stem the spread of this disease. So just because there are fewer cases in one province or no cases in some territories, it doesn't matter.
In your letter, you also say governments are taking a reactive approach. They're failing to mandate the necessary proactive steps to slow the progress of the virus. Although we heard some firm action yesterday for our government, what else needs to be done?
So I think that people in Canada need to hear clear, definitive, not just advice, but mandated information about how they should conduct themselves. They look to politicians to guide them, and big businesses also look to politicians and policymakers to determine how they will conduct themselves. I have a close family friend who works at a large Canadian bank, and it is still optional to work from home. That's not acceptable. Everybody needs to do social distancing today. In fact, they needed to do it 5 days ago. And by being reactive, we're already behind.
Dr. Warner, I want to thank you for joining us on Your Morning.
My pleasure. Take care.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.